So with the reveal of Black Ops 7's campaign trailer, we get to see a little bit more about the world building, Raul Menendez, the guild, Emma Kagan, Alex Mason, his new team. And when you watch the direct, there's also more information about all of the players and what the game is going to be about and where the story might go. One thing that I found very interesting is that the team kind of gets captured, David Mason's team, and they get hit with this gas, which kind of reminded me a lot the gas from Black Ops 6. I can't remember the name of it, but it has the same logo. It looks very similar, so I think it might be the same one. That gas made the team hallucinate and uncover their deepest memories where they have gone through something that affected them mentally or something that they regret or something that they're guilty about. And one of the things that I saw is that David Mason goes back to Alaska, to his childhood home. The developers even talked about this when they were describing multiplayer maps and things like that. So obviously Alaska is going to be part of the campaign because we saw that in the reveal. And what's going to be in Alaska, from the leaks that I've seen, from the reveal trailer, from what the developers have said, if you kind of infer and put it all together, you're basically going to be visiting Alaska to visit Alex Mason's home where David Mason was staying when he was a child. And you get to see that the home is accessible, and there's like a portrait of a young Alex Mason as a Marine. And there's probably going to be other little things around the house that you're going to be able to view and look at. So what does that tell me? That there might be a potential for a mission where you're a young David Mason and you're talking to your dad. Who really knows? But the main point is that Alex Mason might actually make a return in Call of Duty Black Ops 7. He might actually have lines. It might be new scenes. And we might get to see him in a way that we've never seen him before, because we might be playing as young David Mason. With these memories, we also got to remember that Alex Mason was captured by Raul Menendez because Raul Menendez had David Mason hostage. He captured him and he used him as leverage to get the upper hand on Alex Mason. What if in those memories we get to revisit that part and we're a young David Mason getting caught by Raul Menendez and we see how Alex Mason died? We see that conversation between Menendez and Alex and what Mason's psyche was at the time when he got caught. You know, the fear he must have felt and the reassurance that he might have given David Mason while he was captured. I mean, that's something that's always been fascinating to me, intriguing to me, and I think that this campaign could dive deep into that because it talks so much about the mental side of things and the psychological problems that these characters are facing. I think that would be a big psychological problem that David Mason might wrestle with or might have wrestled with throughout the years. But my main point to that is that the return of Alex Mason is possible. And I also think that the return of Frank Woods once again is possible. Even though we see Frank Woods' headstone, he clearly has passed away now in 2035. But if we're looking at the reveal trailer, there's a shot of Frank Woods, which looks like it could be from Black Ops 1. And now we know that the story is revisiting different areas of Black Ops 2 and different missions that David Mason, Harper were not a part of during the original Black Ops games. So maybe this gas takes a team, or takes David Mason in particular, to a location where Alex Mason and David Mason and all kind of work together, and we get to follow them around in his mind. The point is that there's a lot of potential to bring both of these iconic characters, these beloved characters, back for a mission, for a brief cameo, for a brief conversation. There is potential to do that, and I think Call of Duty will take that route because Alex Mason and Frank Woods are Black Ops. They are the iconic characters of the franchise. They're beloved by the fans, and fans can never get enough of them, it seems. And with the shot of Frank Woods, we also got a shot of Alex Mason. If we look at this image here, we see Emma Kagan, we see Raul Menendez, we see David Mason, and we get a quick flash of Alex Mason. So I definitely think that both of these characters are going to be somewhat relevant to the campaign. No, not even somewhat. I think they're going to be quite relevant to the campaign, to the story, and you're definitely going to see them. Now, the question really is, do you think that's a good idea? Are you excited to see them again? I mean, we always see Alex Mason and Frank Woods in every Black Ops game. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Black Ops 6 was the only Black Ops game where I didn't see Alex Mason in the flesh. Alex Mason was completely gone. He was dead. There was like small talk of him, but there wasn't any flashback scene of him. There was nothing. Like, I don't even think we got an operator in Black Ops 6 that was Alex Mason. So that's kind of crazy when you really think about it. And could he return in Black Ops 7? You know, Frank Woods has been there the whole time. He appeared in Black Ops 6 and it looks like he's going to appear again in Black Ops 7. I think sometimes it's best to just let these characters rest. If they already died, let them die, move on from them. They've already had their time in the light, and now it's time for the return of David Mason. But I don't know. I don't think Call of Duty would do that. I think Call of Duty is very adamant on having these two characters come back. I think if you show Woods in the campaign and you potentially show Alex Mason the campaign, you can automatically have bundles about those characters. You can have bundles from Frank Woods and Alex Mason during their exploits in Black Ops 2, some outfits, and you can have Alex Mason and Frank Woods in maybe some futuristic tech and sell bundles like that and theme it around 2035. So there's a lot of potential for Treyarch, Activision, Raven, whatever, to make money from the use of Alex Mason and Frank Woods. So I think that would be another reason why they actually would use those characters. But, story-wise, it makes a little bit of sense to see Alex Mason come back because of his relationship with his son. There's clearly still some problems that David Mason is facing with his past. It seems like he hasn't fully gotten over them. That is what the big plot point is about Black Ops 7. So him thinking about his father, seeing images of his father, having flashbacks of his father and his childhood makes sense to the story of Black Ops 7. Also, Frank Woods coming back and potentially seeing him or talking to him through a flashback, that's also very plausible as well, because Troy Marshall, his very good friend and protege, is going to be the commander of David Mason's SEAL team. He's going to oversee all of their missions and their operations, and he's been doing that for a few years now, so they have a relationship. Troy Marshall knew Frank Woods very, very well, and Troy Marshall also knew that David Mason was being watched over from Frank Woods. So I'm pretty sure that Troy Marshall was around when Mason was growing up, so they are going to have rapport. They're going to have scenes together and memories to share, and that's why I think that Frank Woods will also make an appearance. And in terms of the story, it might make sense that way as well. There's a lot of mysteries to Black Ops 7 and what may or may not happen, but what you can bet money on is that Frank Woods and Alex Mason are more than likely making a return once again to the Black Ops franchise in Black Ops 7. Do you think that's the right move, or do you think they should be gone completely?